As soon as I walk out the door, honking. Honking from my neighbor's house. The next house down. You know, the people that are on Neighborhood Wars on A&E. Tore down my gate. You know, the mugshot that ended up in the county jail. That neighbor. Honking their horn as soon as I walk out. I hope everybody's doing well. I want to give you an update on Karen. Now, this is really, really interesting. A couple of people, thank you so much for calling her, because it really does help for everybody there to know that Karen has support, that she's not alone, that she's not going to be held hostage there without a lot of people being aware that she's there. So now, another targeted friend, and this has happened to her too. I wrote a letter on her behalf. She called me that she spoke to Karen this morning, and Karen sent me a message. Now this is really fascinating, guys. You know, Karen is a registered nurse. She said that in the last few days, 3 more registered nurses were brought in for a 3-day psych hold. Imagine 3 registered nurses brought in for a 3-day psych hold at the same facility. I'm eating an ice pop at the same time because it's really hot out today. That is news. That requires an article. And I have spoken to Janet Phelan about this. So, you know, Janet's undergoing her own issues now. She filed an injunction against the CIA. She's partially disabled. But she's still writing. Still publishing articles. But I think this would be an amazing story for her to write about. The assault on the medical system. Our nurses are being Baker acted. Why? Nurse Kim Straub was unalived and they were experimenting on her. She discovered what they were doing in their medical accounting system. Falsifying information, correcting reports. When you falsify somebody's medical report or psychiatric report, you're altering them for life. It has a lot to do with the kinds of medication you may or may not be prescribed, how people perceive you. This is why, for years and years, I was against medicating children falsely diagnosed with ADHD, because then they get a label for life. Oh, and then the cops can come along and do their predictive. You know, predictive, you know how they predict the future? They can predict if somebody's going to do a crime. Yeah. When are they going to predict when they're going to perform crimes? They commit some of the most egregious crimes I have seen on the internet. But anyway, it is hot. It's in the 90s. It's humid. The criminals are working overtime. I should say the witches. They're spreading witchcraft all over my property. What is witchcraft, you may ask? Well, they deliberately, strategically place branches pointing in certain directions around the entire property. Now, you're going to say, oh, well, you live there. Like, branches are going to fall down. Sure, of course they're going to fall down. But they don't fall down every day. And they don't fall down around your entire property in a circular pattern. Like they're connecting. That's witchcraft. They did it in New Jersey. When I lived at 52 Sutton Drive, Manalapan, and I have an ice pop I'm holding. I should not have brought an ice pop out. It's dripping all over me. Look, it's dripping all over. It's coconut. But, so that is the news. 3 more. That means 4 nurses at the same facility Baker acted. Baker acted is a term utilized because that's the psychiatric reprisal in Florida, I believe. And it's a term that's used, but make no mistake, it is a psychiatric reprisal. It is a weapon of war. It's a weapon to discredit the truth teller. So yeah, 4 nurses. 4 nurses at the same facility. And guess what else is common amongst nurses? They all have really good medical insurance. So that means that hospital knows they're going to get paid no matter what. Yeah, they're going to get paid no matter what. So this is a great story. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it from Karen directly. I was given the information from another targeted female who lived in Florida, and this happened to her in Florida. And I wrote a letter on her behalf and called there when it happened to her. Here, this is what the criminals do. Look at my fence here. See that? Sliced. You see? And what they did is they sliced the portion in between so I can't even connect it. Look at that. Yeah, this is what they do. They bend the fence. They drill holes in my posts. But karma's going to come for them. You know, another YouTube creator was talking about the witchcraft and the voodoo that people do. You know, you're putting that out there on innocent people. It doesn't matter if somebody asks you to do it, if you're doing it because of a personal grudge or vendetta. The fact that you want to curse someone else, that you want to take away their favor, that you want to sabotage their life or their family members or their method of income or their property like this. The fact that somebody is so evil that they will conjure up rituals to do this. Basically, what it means is it's going to come back to them. It's going to come back and hurt them. It's a boomerang. It's like the boomerang effect. So anyway, I'm in my, let's see, where am I? This is my little, I call it my garden field. And this is the outer field, which is quite huge. I've never even taken you all the way back there. I haven't even walked all the way back there because the first time that I tried to do it, it rained. I got totally drenched, soaked when I walked back there trying to film it and follow actually the water. I wanted to get to the primary source of the water coming down into the creek behind my house that funnels into the county creek, because I believe that somebody is sabotaging it up there. So I've got my guineas in the corner here. That usually means it's probably a male and a female, and they're doing their dirty and they're building a nest. And what's going to happen is some fox is going to come out tonight and say, "Oh, look at the food that was left for me." See, there they are. Let's see if I can zoom in here. They're over there. Come here, guys. What are you doing? Don't lay eggs over there. Well, the fox is going to eat them on you. Come on. Come here. Yeah, this is what the guineas do when they're mating. They'll couple off and go wandering around. They chase each other. One will like kind of build a little nest and lay an egg, and then the male will hang out and they'll brood together and stuff. It's really cute, but the one thing about guineas, unlike the chickens will do it inside the coop so you know where the eggs are. These guys, they'll go anywhere. They'll be like in the woods. They lay eggs everywhere. Like the other morning, I came out here and it's like I found an egg out here. They probably laid eggs in here. I mean, how am I going to find them? And then what's going to happen is if an animal doesn't eat them and let's say miraculously one hatches, then we're going to have little babies out here in the heat hatching with no food to eat. I mean, it's just, they don't make, they don't make sense to me, these birds. And I know they're called fowl for a reason. They are wild birds. I mean, I've somewhat domesticated them. Because they were born at the hatchery and they're shipped within a day. So when I receive them, they're only a couple of days old. So basically they imprinted on me like I'm actually their mother. Although I don't look anything like them, but I am actually their mother. So they imprinted on me, and then they also imprinted on the chickens, who have a totally different habit than the guineas. And their habit obviously is to go into the coop every night. So it's only because of those chickens that they would go into the coop. They would follow them around. But anyway, here's the sunflowers. They're really pretty, but they're dry. I'm going to have to water them. We haven't had any good rain. Oh, we've got a little bee here doing their thing. Another one over here. And all of these need some water here. And yeah, and this is what the criminals did. They burnt out all the berries here. They just burnt everything out. I've got other berries. These are not blueberries. They're different kind of berries. Oh, let's see what this is here. So I've got the thorny kind, the not so thorny kind. I'll show you what this is here. These are a different size. They're a different shape than the other berries. The other berries were very sweet. I tried to eat one of these yesterday. It was so sour, I gave it to my bird. Let me see. Yeah, it's sour. And I think it's ripe, but it's very sour. I'm going to give it to my bird. But anyway, I have a testimony. I have a testimony coming for you guys. A female targeted person does not want her name known. And she has some amazing photos of the directed energy weapons in her yard and hitting her dog precisely. But I also wanted to show you briefly. This is the updated version of the cat attack wound to my arm. Let me see if I can get it here. This is what it looks like after 2 months. Isn't it amazing? It's like a triangle. It's like a chevron. In fact, when I showed the original one to other people, they said, this is not natural that they could have a perfect triangle cut in your arm. This is my new theory. My new theory is not only was I attacked by a cat that was controlled, but I believe because it was so traumatic at the time, and through plausible deniability saying that the cat did it, that at the exact same moment that that cat attacked me, that a directed energy weapon came and sliced the triangle in my arm. Please leave a comment down below if you believe that that is how I got the triangle in my arm. Or do you believe that a cat actually cut through 2 layers of clothing and cut a perfect triangle with his teeth? This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Please hit the thumb up, share if you feel inclined to do so, and I will talk to you later.